Hello, welcome back to my digital illustrations YouTube channel, free for you, and dive in with your enthusiastic nature and enthusiasm for digital painting in no time. Learn about different type of different styles. Today I will painting this from scratch, like from all the sketch, using this reference image, and for that I'm using quickly a hard round brush. I'm using the pen tablets because so that it is a nice brusher size, good for inking, good for sketching thing, and I'm using a new layer to sketch up this particular sketch. I will be sketching complete top to bottom thing in this new layer, and I'm using 1x Wacom tablet, which is easy to use, lower in price, and having very effective results. If you are just a beginner, I would recommend this for you. Ctrl Z anytime if you have by mistake made some different stroke or sketch, and again complete it like this. And now I'm going to make these selections, particularly with using magic wand tool, and particularly color these both, the top one and the bottom one thing, two different colors in two different layers. For that, make a new layer, go to the sketch layer where I have sketched the thing, particularly select that, go to select, modify, expand, and expand it for say 4 pixels, and then pick the color with the eyedropper and paint it up in the new layer. Similarly, repeat the same thing for the top one, and in a new layer, paint that color. Now, selecting all these, dragging it on the side so you can see the reference and the subject that you are painting side by side, and using the soft round brush, particularly with the darker color, you can anytime pick it the different color from the reference image by using eyedropper tool and switch between the different colors, paint it according to that. You can anytime make the brushes size lower and bigger depending on your requirement for that particular area. I'm trying to replicate the reference in my painting, so I'm clearly using those particular areas, those particular colors. Now making the vertical strokes for that, I'm just using same brush, same technique, and in the same particular layer. You can see in the layer panel it is all in a layer mask. However, mask did is just clicking on the layer thumbnail and making the layer mask from the below of the layer panel. You can switch between different colors, make the same kind of stroke, the vertical ones, so that it gives a nice complete texture for that. I'm just varying the stroke size, like somewhere it is bigger, somewhere it is smaller, and different colors. Again, I'm using a dark color over all of these so that it is particularly holding the shape of that zigzag thing. You can lower the opacity of the brush anytime if you want a lower kind of effect for that particular sketch. And also for the tip, and also I would recommend you to enjoy such interesting tutorials of painting flowers, painting botanicals, painting different desserts and drinks here in my YouTube channel, and all of these just for free for you. You can see such relatable video content here in the I box, and once you are completed with this particular video, you can switch to that too. I am using here a lighter color and making different texture, the blend, the bending textures in the top area, using again the darker color and painting it accordingly so that it holds that particular texture that I am having in the reference image. You can also use the directly white color and with the lower opacity and paint it to make the highlight areas. I think I'm pretty done with the basic textures, basic sides, so it's time to add that topping thing of the brown, that the topping on the cream that you can see. For that, I'm using the hard round brush, but the pressure size, so that as I'm just tapping it, it's making that such texture. If you are enjoying with me here right now, make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay here for such interesting and to see how I'm completely duplicating this reference image to my sketch. I'm pretty happy with what I'm having in front of my eyes on the screen. It's time to add the background. For the background, first of all, I'm using a layer below all of these layers, picking the color from the reference only and just painting it over there. Now with the brush tool, black but very lower opacity, I'm just painting the shadow below, and with the upper layer, adding a new layer above all of those, I'm making the highlight thing using the white color. Again, similar way, very lower opacity, and just painting like this. You can see it's now sharing a story of the highlight and the shadows. Now it's time to add that particular thing, that particular effect that will make the changes. So I'm adding a noise filter, particularly going to that particular layer, adding a noise. I would suggest noise would be 3 or 4% and just hit OK. Similarly, go to the above, go with the noise again the same amount, so it's quite done. Now I'm just duplicating and merging all the things here so that you can quickly see how the thing is happening. Ctrl D for any selection that you have made even earlier also. Hit Ctrl U in the hue saturation panel, increase the lightness a little bit and hit OK. You can see this side becomes more brighter. And now I want my front edge to be like a more in the saturated way. So I'm just selecting again with the lasso tool, randomly selecting in front. I'm having a feather of 10% in the lasso tool. Remember that. You always have a feather, even 10, 20, anything that you prefer. Select that particular area and increase the saturation again by hitting Ctrl U and adjusting the saturation level. It increases the color. It's making it rich in the color. Now going to the sideways, I'm just decreasing the lightness a little bit so that it is a nice shadow area. And last, here for the reflective light, it would be again increasing a lightness a little bit and hit Ctrl D. I am pretty done with all of the settings to make my particular sketch turned into a really interesting piece. If you guys found this helpful and got it interesting, make sure you hit the subscribe button, share this video more and more to your friends so that they would also be knowing these simple tricks and tips for painting digital in Photoshop.